Yes, that is Bronny James on defense, and yes, on this play he did get broken off with the help of a push-off. When I saw that little stumble, the first thing that I thought was that everybody on the internet was absolutely going to eat this one up, and I was right. Everybody was poking fun at the fact that coming into the draft that Bronny was being respected as this lockdown defender, but yet here he was allegedly getting broken off by Adonis Arms in the NBA Summer League. Straight props to Arms though. Everybody was looking forward to it being Bronny's debut, and this man stole the show with a 32-point double-double. 32 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists in the Summer League is legit. I know that it is just the NBA Summer League, but I did leave this game impressed with what I saw from him. Now, while it is just the NBA Summer League, that hasn't stopped the overreactions from coming in for Bronny James. For Bronny, the overreactions have been everywhere. But before we get into that, we are in the NBA offseason right now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be bored. Thanks to Underdog Fantasy and the arrival of the NBA Summer League, we now have the opportunity to be entertained while winning some money in the process. With Underdog Fantasy being the easiest way to play daily fantasy and the arrival of the NBA Summer League, you already know that we had to submit some lineups. I personally think that some of my diehard NBA fans are really going to like some of these lineups. Let me know what lineups you like down in the comments below. To maximize your personal lineup potential, when you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, be sure to use code COOP. When you use code COOP, you can get a deposit bonus for up to $250 and a special limited time bonus square. Thank you, Underdog, for the sponsor. I don't think that there's a thing on this planet that could make me feel older right now than Bronny becoming teammates with LeBron. Seriously, I remember when Bronny was just a kid attending games as LeBron was just starting his historic run. And now, these two are teammates, something that LeBron was determined to make happen. In 2022, LeBron James told The Athletic, "Wherever Bronny is at, that's where I'll be. I would do whatever it takes to play with my son for 1 year." It's not about the money at that point. While Bron without a doubt had good intentions with what he said, by him saying he'd do anything to play with his son, he would inadvertently make him and Bronny look like a package deal. This would of course only raise the price of a Bronny James who was already incredibly valuable at the time. Remember that at one point in time that a large number of people were assuming that Bronny James would be a first round pick, with some assuming that he wouldn't just go in the NBA lottery. Some would actually believe that he would be a top 10 pick. At one point, even Kevin Durant was saying that he understood why this man should go in the top 10. And can you blame him? Bronny James, by the end of his senior season, had turned himself into a top 20 recruit and McDonald's All-American, which of course would be controversial in itself. Some people would scream nepotism, while others appreciated what Bronny had developed into. Around this time, Jonathan Givony would call Bronny James arguably the best perimeter defender in his high school class, and somebody who made strides with his perimeter shooting and playmaking ability. Bronny's senior season at Sierra Canyon would be something that he could build off of, but for Bronny James, everything would change at the blink of an eye. After Bronny suffered from cardiac arrest, he would put together an ugly statistical season at USC, averaging 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 2.1 assists, shooting 36.6% from the field and 26.7% from deep. These numbers would drastically lower his stock and have a lot of people wondering if Bronny should even get drafted at all. Even with his stock not being what it once was, for the Lakers to get Bronny in the late second round, Rich Paul would have to tell other teams to not draft Bronny, with the threat being that if they drafted him, that he'd go play basketball in Australia. I know that sounds crazy, but the Lakers were actually able to get Austin Reeves in a similar fashion, with his agent telling teams not to draft him. Teams wanted to draft Austin Reeves, but Austin Reeves wanted the Lakers. Honestly, this part of the game isn't something that I'm too crazy about, but it's something that I do understand, because players are just trying to put themselves into the best situation possible. As we know, in the NBA, the right situation can be everything for a player. But imagine being a Pistons fan and knowing that you could have had Austin Reeves with the 42nd pick in the 2021 NBA Draft. Do you guys know who the Pistons picked with that pick? Isaiah Livers. So while stuff like this does seem unfair, it's not unheard of. So with Rich Paul successfully warding off teams, he would give his clients the opportunity to make history, with the Lakers selecting Bronny James with the 55th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft. Bronny and LeBron becoming teammates would make them the first father-son duo to play in the NBA at the same time. With Bronny joining the Lakers, the already intense criticism for him would become even harsher. With the Lakers seeing all of this criticism, they would do everything that they could to put out the media fire that was surrounding him, and also everything that they could to just justify the pick.
With Bronny, I want to clarify one thing you just said, which is Rob and I did not give Bronny anything. Bronny has earned this, right? Bronny talks about his hard work. Bronny has earned this through hard work. And for us, prioritizing player development, we view Bronny as like case study one, because his base level of feel, athleticism, point of attack defender, shooting, passing. There's a lot to like about his game. And as we sort of build out our player development program holistically, he's going to have a great opportunity to become an excellent NBA player.
With Bronny playing in his first Summer League game on July 6th, we would get a glimpse at this potential that Reddit kids spoke so glowingly about. Against the Kings in his Summer League debut, he would have a 4-2-2 line. 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. 2 of 9 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3, and 0 of 2 from the free throw line. In this game, his defense also wouldn't be as good as advertised, with his physical limitations being on full display. Bronny has a good wingspan, with it being 6'7", but at 6'1", there's only so much you can do as a defender before a smart offensive player takes advantage of your size. At Bronny's size, he really doesn't have a large margin for error on the defensive end. All around, Bronny didn't have a good game, but that doesn't mean that he's going to have a bad career. Like LeBron said following his debut, it doesn't matter if he plays well, and it doesn't matter if he doesn't play well. You can't take anything stat-wise from the California Classic and Summer League and bring it once the season starts. The only thing that matters is him getting better and stacking days. Bron has a point. The Summer League is nothing more than the Summer League. What's important is that Bronny is stacking reps, something that he should be able to do a lot this season, seeing as even though the Lakers have plans for Bronny and Bron to share the court the first week of the season, Bronny will still largely be a G League player. So despite the poor shooting performance from Bronny, he got to where he wanted to on the floor comfortably, and for the most part, he took good shots. I really like the way that he navigates screens and can find the soft spot on the floor to get his shot off. He also has some nice elevation on his jumper. I know that Bronny projects as a 3-and-D connector type of guard, but I do think that he has some solid scoring potential that he can tap into. To me, Bronny looked poised, had a good IQ, had a good change of pace, and again, didn't force much. Unironically, his first basket would come on a handoff as he got all the way to the basket for the easy lay-in. His second basket would come off of him using his speed to attack a closeout. He's so fast that when he does this behind the back move to initiate his gather, the defender is simply left helpless as he fails to register any sort of decent contest. I'm telling you that Bronny can get his own shot when he wants to. He just has to knock them down like he did at the Combine. When you are a small guard who isn't dominant at any one thing, you have to be able to consistently shoot the basketball.
Ooh. Can he shoot? Yes, I can shoot.
Overall, Bronny does have a lot of work to do, as any young player does, but I do think that he will end up surprising some people. Like I said earlier, this guy was once projected to be a top 10 pick. Being projected that high doesn't happen because of pure luck. He says that he wasn't given much of an opportunity at USC, and some scouts have said that he was, in fact, misused at USC. So, I guess now we'll get the opportunity to see how true these things are, as it's blatantly obvious that he's going to be given every opportunity to succeed, with the Los Angeles Lakers. Guys, there are some more NBA topics that I need to be covering, so be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss me covering them. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.